Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Well, hello. I am fantastic. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good as well. Today is Monday. It is the 20th of June. We got a special guest, Carew Papritz, or Carew Papritz. That's how you say it. We've talked to him before. He's an author and an innovator. And today we're going to talk about the Great Balloon Book Launch. He's got this thing. It's a cool idea. We're going to be chatting with him about this coming up later in the program. For the first time, lifeguards in Sydney, Australia will be allowed to fine swimmers who disobey orders and do things like swimming outside of the designated safe surfing sections on the beach. So now they'll be able to actually give you a ticket for not listening.
You know, I don't think that's a bad idea
It's a
because
great
they'd
idea.
be the first ones to blame if something happened.
Yep, they'd come after well, you didn't save me. Yeah, you were outside of the area, so you got to, now.
Because then the lifeguard's life is at risk as well for coming to save your stupid butt.
Heidi knows.
I get it.
Norway struck an unprecedented blow for sexual equality when the government said they would force companies to guarantee that women could be in board meetings.
What?
So, yeah. Apparently that was not allowed in Norway before.
Wow.
So,
they're behind the times.
They are behind the times. So imagine what they would think about all the stuff going on in our country. We don't even know if it's a man or a woman anymore. We're like, I just heard about a story about a guy that's now designated binary, meaning he's not man or woman, or he or she. I don't know how to. Anyway, we got weird things going on.
Yeah, we
And we
do.
got some special things going on today. We'll talk about that in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Monday, June the 20th, American Eagle Day today.
Oh, I love the American Eagle.
I do too. Delicious, by the way. I'm just kidding. I've never had. I'm teasing. I never had. But this next thing is Flitch of Bacon Day today.
Flitch
I don't know what flitch means, but bacon's good. Lambrusco Day. You've had Lambrusco before.
I have.
You like that?
Not a huge
Okay. Well, we won't celebrate with that. National Koing Aman Day today. Let's pretend like we know what that is. It is Ride to Work on Your Motorcycle Day today. Doggone it, I don't have one of those. Ryan Moran Day today. Summer Solstice happens today at 6:34 p.m. Eastern Time. Today is World Productivity Day, World Refuge Day, and today is Anne and Samantha Day.
What is Anne and Samantha Day?
And it's Ryan Moran. Can we just make it John and Heidi Day, too? What the heck? We should just start squeezing that in every day.
Such a random
Today's
array
John
of
and Heidi Day today.
things today.
I know, it is kind of random. I like bacon, so we got that going. That's the only thing I'm going to celebrate.
Do you like a flitch of bacon?
Sure. What the heck? Why not? Thanks for listening on this Monday, Flitch of Bacon, June the 20th.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A Diamond Lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. The police chief in Florida gave himself a ticket.
Oh.
Well, he didn't come right out and do it. Let me explain what happened. A watchdog citizen pointed out his parking error. This happened in Groveland, Florida, and the resident there, David Byers, noticed that the police chief, Melvin Tennyson, had committed a vehicular faux pas. He snapped a photo and posted them of this offending parking job on Facebook. The photos were shared over 500 times. Luckily, Chief Tennyson took the not-so-subtle hint. He wrote himself the appropriate ticket, and the police department posted his receipt to Facebook as well. So they said, "Thank you for pointing this out. I paid my fine. Thank you. Leave it alone." I got a link to that, by the way, at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
Good for him.
I don't think I've ever shared or heard it on the radio segment on Facebook before. Have I?
I don't think so.
This one actually had a link, and I thought, hey, I'm going to share that because that's kind of a cool story. I can tell you there are many police officers that I know that have gotten tickets, even though they were police officers. So they're not above the law, and I don't think they think they're above the law. This particular man did something wrong. He parked wrong, and he gave himself a ticket when somebody pointed that out. I don't think that he was trying to be
But
a
do you
bad
think he
person.
would have if it hadn't been on social media?
I don't think that he would have, because I don't think he would have known. It's not like he was parking, I'm not exactly sure what happened. I don't know. Again,
I think it was probably because he got called out and he was like,
think so,
all
too.
right,
but
better do it.
The parking faux pas happened. I'm looking at the photo here, and it looks like he's parked a little bit on the sidewalk, maybe. I don't exactly know what it is. Anyway, he's parked in a way that, there you go. He's not quite in a parking space. He's got like 2 tires outside of the parking space. So
And you can get a ticket for having 2 tires
apparently.
outside?
So this vigilante said,
This is vigilante.
That's what happened. I'm taking a
not
photo of this.
putting up with this.
I'm gonna
Not
turn this
on
guy
my
in.
watch.
You can't sneak those 2 tires past. What was that? 2 tires? What? I don't think so. Anyway, if you'd like to see it, Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. Heidi, not 1 but 2 stories today because they're both pretty darn short. Now,
Okay.
that doesn't mean that they're not good. Good things can come in small packages. Listen to this knucklehead. A driver in Australia is in trouble after police saw him using a seatbelt on 2 30-packs of beer. Sadly, he also had 3 children in the car, none of which were...
None of them got
No,
a seatbelt.
they
But
didn't
the
have
beer did.
But his beer did.
Oh, my goodness.
Kind of an idiot. That happened in Australia. Now, we're not quite done yet. A man in Anchorage, this is in Alaska, he stole a front-end loader, then smashed it through the doors of a liquor store to steal a few bottles of booze.
Wow.
Another knucklehead. So,
I'm assuming he got caught.
yeah, of course. Otherwise, the story wouldn't be nearly as good. But kids, don't do that kind of stuff. First of all, I like the fact that he had his beer seatbelted in, but seatbelt the kids in, too. I mean, it's not illegal to drive around with your beer seatbelted in, but it is illegal to drive without your kids seatbelted in. And the guy that stole the booze from the store in Anchorage,
wow.
I mean, get a job and buy your booze.
It takes all kinds.
There you go. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.
John and Heidi.
Our moment of Dove from Illinois today, where a man robbed a gas station, then fled. I don't know if fled's really the right word. Slowly, very, very slowly drove off in an 18-wheeler tractor trailer, which also had his name on the door. Yeah. He drove away so slowly, in fact, the manager had time to call the police, then get into her own car and tail him, even having to slow down a couple of times so she would not bump into him.
Oh, man.
We call this an easy day for the police in Illinois.
Yeah.
So she was pretty smart. She, the guy robbed the place, and then he drove off in a tractor trailer truck with his name on the side. She called police first, and then jumped
With
in the
his
car
name
to
on
tail
the
him.
side and everything, did she really need to tail him?
I think she did, because she
I
tailed
mean, it
him
had
to
his
make sure.
name on it.
I know, but, she did the right thing. I think that was a good idea. Coming up, we have your scoop of the day, and we appreciate you listening on this Monday. Carew Papritz will be joining us in a bit, talking about the Great Balloon Book Launch. I'm excited to chat with him. Fun guy. It's on the way.
The scoop of the day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your scoop of the day. In-flight Wi-Fi is often so slow, you're better off just sticking to the in-flight magazine. However, NBC News, new satellite-based Wi-Fi service promises to change all that. They say the U.S.-based Viasat is launching 2 new high-powered satellites that will significantly improve broadband over the next year. Several other companies are also working on their own satellite-based services. Officials say the next 24 months will be crazy, but the results should be faster internet speeds while you're flying in the friendly skies. So there you go. That's all coming to a airplane near you. And I have a link to that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Extra points, by the way, if you check that out while you're in flight.
I don't really use the internet when I'm on a plane.
I've only done it one time, and it was very expensive, so I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that again. A woman has been caught on camera stealing a ring off a dead person at a funeral home in Texas.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, have you no shame? A different woman in California turned her home into a sanctuary for cats. Guess how many she's got there now?
Oh, I couldn't even imagine. Hundreds.
1,000 cats. I can only imagine what that
Is that
smells like.
legal?
She's got a sanctuary. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. There's a website, Nameberry, and they take a tally of the most popular baby names of the year. What do you think the top 5 are for girls?
I don't
Wrong.
know.
It doesn't matter what you say. Olivia, Amelia, Charlotte, Ava, and Isla. How about for boys? Wrong as well. Ezra, Asher, Atticus, Declan, and Oliver.
Atticus.
Atticus and Declan I've not met. I've met Oliver's. I've met Asher's. I've met Ezra's.
There was a Declan on Psych.
Oh, yeah, that was on Psych. That's right. Hey, cursive is slowly being phased out of most schools. Kids do not know what cursive is. So I saw a thing on Facebook that said someday
we'll be
cursive
using that
will be
as
our
code.
own secret code. It's true.
And that's true.
Hey, a rolled-up newspaper can be effectively used as a training tool for your pet. For instance, when the rolled-up newspaper, if your dog chews on something inappropriate, you'd like smack him with that gently, and then that's supposed to help them not do that anymore. Be gentle with that newspaper. And you didn't get that advice from me. All right, employers, watch out. Your workers can't wait to quit. According to a new survey by job placement firm Manpower, 84% of employees are looking for a new position in the next year. That's up from just 60% last year. It's up to 84% now. So
Wow.
24% more people are trying to find a new gig for next year. That's weird. Starbucks is taking on the newest trend of bean brewing, coffee infused with nitrogen gas.
What?
Yeah, more than 500 Starbucks locations will serve nitro coffee by the end of this summer.
What does it do?
The drink will be made from a cold brew and infused with nitrogen that gives the coffee a creamier texture and a
Really?
sweeter taste. And it's extremely flammable. I'm just kidding. I don't know if it is. But isn't nitrogen flammable?
I
think
would
it is.
assume.
Firefighters in China were called to a man's place to pull his head out of the washing machine.
What?
He was trying to fix his washing machine, and he got his head wedged in the drum. It took 6 firefighters and the jaws of life and 40 minutes to rescue the man. They had to destroy his machine.
Where was that?
In China. to get his head out of there. I think he had his head somewhere else, too. Hey, they're going to begin testing some new pedestrian traffic lights in Sydney, Australia. When we talk about Australia, what do you call it usually? It's the down under, right?
Yeah.
Well, they're going to put these lights down under. So many people are looking at their phones and not paying attention to the lights. They're putting lights down on the ground
That's
to let you
sad.
know you need to stop. Ground level walk, don't walk lights are being installed in Sydney. If this catches on there, or if it goes well there, it'll catch on all over the place. And soon, kids and adults alike will be able to stare at their phones and not
How
even look at
sad
each
is
other
that
anymore.
you can't control yourself
know.
long enough to cross the
Just cross
street?
yeah, come on. Whatever you're doing, you can stop for a second. Take a breath. Blink.
Jeez.
Something. All right, coming up, we have Carew Papritz on the way. The Great Balloon Book Launch. We'll tell you what that is in a bit with Carew on the way.
John and Heidi.
This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. We have a guest joining us right now, Carew Papritz. He is an author, and he's also one of my favorite guys to talk to because this guy always has a cool idea up his sleeve for stuff. Carew, first of all, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fine, John. It's great to be on your show again. Thanks.
Well, last time we talked, you guys made history by delivering the first book ever with a drone, and now you're using balloons. So tell me a little bit about the Great Book Balloon Launch. What in the world is going on now?
Yes, the Great Legacy Letter Book Balloon Launch. Well, I was trying to figure out something. I guess our biggest problem is getting our kids to be active during the summer.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, how do we solve this problem? I had this dream one night about, well, what if we combine something with balloons and sending a book up into the sky, basically. And I was like, what the heck is that? So I can get our kids outside, but do this special event. And basically, it's the idea is setting a world record that's free and it's fun, easy to do. It's the old message in a bottle idea, except you send a one-paged, miniaturized version of my book, The Legacy Letters, into the sky with a balloon.
That's really cool. Now, I remember when I was a kid, we did the whole letters in a bottle thing where we would, put a letter in a bottle and throw it. Now, I didn't live near an ocean, so mine wasn't probably as cool as some people. I'd throw it in a lake, and then it would, wash up on the shore across the lake. But it was so much fun.
Yeah, exactly. And so the cool part is that you can, when you register on the site, and the reason that you register is we're trying to create a world record. And the world record is the most book balloon launches ever, and since I'm the only one doing it, we've already set a world record. But part of registering is we document the launch with a post, a social media post, by picture or by video.
Nice.
And and then the cool part is that when you print the book out, which is what you have to do, you end up putting a tracking number on this little tiny miniaturized book, and if someone finds it, they can put that back into the website, and you can see how far your book balloon went.
So I could launch it, and it could land in, some other, maybe in a different country or in a different state, and when they find it, they'd be able to log into the website and see where it originally was launched from.
Yes, and we'll tell the launcher how far the book actually went.
This is a really cool idea. And it's, like I said, when I visit with Carew, I always come away going, this guy, he's a thinker. He's such a neat guy. I remember back at Valentine's Day, we were talking about writing love letters and things that you should do for your sweetheart. And let's talk about the legacy letters, because that's your book. The legacy letters is such a cool idea for a book, and it was one of the first books ever to be on the nonfiction bestseller list and the fiction bestseller list. So how did that happen?
Well, not easily, let's say that. But basically, it's a series of letters written by a father who would never live to see his kids, and he leaves behind these letters that are practical, moral, spiritual letters about life. And it's inspirational fiction, but a lot of people are using them as just life lesson letters because they cover everything from how to say please and thank you, and love and marriage and travel and buying used cars and taking care of horses and the whole gamut. But this one guy is leaving behind all his life's opinions on how to live life to the fullest.
And that is such a cool idea in itself. And again, the book, if you're looking for the book, is called The Legacy Letters. Now, if you want to be a part of a world record, and I don't know what it is about my DNA, but my DNA that is something inside of me that says I've always wanted to be a part of a world record. My wife thinks that's the dumbest thing ever. But I always just thought it'd be so cool to be a part of this. If you're one of those people like me that said, I've always wanted to be a part of a world record, this is a chance to do it, isn't it, Carew?
Yeah, it is. And John, the fun part is, at the end of this event, you will get you can print a certificate that says, I was part of the Great Legacy Letters book balloon launch, and we set this record. And I think kids would really love that. I know that was one of the things that attracted me to sort of creating it. Was like, oh yeah, who doesn't want to be part of a world record event? And yeah, and Don, the other really neat thing about this is it is free. But if people decide, hey, what's this Legacy Letters book about, and they end up buying it through the greatbookballoonlaunch.com website, the profits from the book will go to 3 charities: the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Reading is Fundamental, and the Military Mama Network, which helps military families around the world.
Nice. See, once again, I knew there was a reason I like this guy. That's just really nice. What a giver.
John, you're great.
Well, the website is thegreatbookballoonlaunch.com. Now, is there a specific day that you have set that this is the day we want to do this, or it kind of just is all summer long?
It's all summer long. That's the neat part. And there's various themes that people can do also. So if there's a theme where do it from your favorite summertime place, like a pool, or in front of a library, or on a hill that you like to go to. And there's one where you do it with your pet or your favorite vacation spot. So what we're really trying to do is just make this really fun for kids and parents to do anywhere.
And this would be a really cool thing if you know somebody in charge of like one of the reading programs at a library over the summer. I know they're always looking for fun things to do. I could just see a vision of a bunch of kids outside of a library letting balloons go and letting those things fly. And I just think that would be such a cool event. So this is something that anybody wanted to could host one of these locally.
Oh, yeah. I just did a book balloon launch with 60 kids from a local school. They went nuts. They were hooting and hollering. They were grinning from ear to ear. It was so much fun to see. And then what the best part was, afterwards, you heard these kids saying, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is awesome. And it's a fun idea. And again, I'm going to give the website, thegreatbookballoonlaunch.com. If maybe that's something that would interest you and you're saying, hey, I want to get involved. My kids are looking for something to do this summer. I like the fact that you have it set up where I don't have to do it on a specific day. So there's no excuse now. I can do it any time. You got to find some time somewhere in the next couple of months to do this.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. And the fact is, and when you post it, it documents it, and it also sends out the word to other people. I mean, what, I don't know. It's just so much fun.
Well, I think it's a neat idea, and every time I talk to you, I always come away with something really fun, and I think this is a really fun one as well. Carew, thank you for taking the time to chat with us again, sir.
You bet, Don. Have a great day, and have a great summer.
And next time you come up with a cool idea, make sure you reach out and let us know about it. We always want to know what you're up to.
Oh, I've got some, I've got some things brewing for the fall.
All right. Again, the website is thegreatbookballoonlaunch.com. Our guest today is Carew Papritz. He is the author of The Legacy Letters. Thank you so much for joining us on the John and Heidi Show right here on a Monday.
John and Heidi.
Do you buy lottery tickets? Maybe you wait till the jackpot is big, then you buy one. I was like that too. Like my odds got better because the jackpot was more. Well, I think I found something that actually will give me a better chance to win. It's called Lotto-licious. I learned about this from Richard Lustig. He literally wrote the book on how to win the lottery, and he should know. He's a 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Richard plays and endorses Lotto-licious, and I just signed up too. I'd love it if you join Richard and I. You can play Powerball and Mega Millions without even going to the store. Sign up right now at RadioLottopool.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There are 3 animals with blue tongues. Do you know what they are?
A lizard,
Yeah, the blue tongue lizard and...
a parrot.
No, the black black bear has a blue tongue.
Oh.
And the chow dog. Some of those have blue tongues.
Really?
There you go. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The pupil of an octopus's eye is rectangular.
Really?
Yeah. If you ever get up close, you might notice that.
Hopefully you never get up close.
Yeah, hopefully not. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
I knew this. In every episode of Seinfeld, there's an image of...
Superman.
Yes, you knew that too. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The United States has never lost a war in which mules were used. So I think we've
we've read
some
that
mules.
fact before.
I think we have. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
We read this one too. I know we did. The reason firehouse stairways are circular is to keep horses from walking up the stairs.
I did know that.
Yeah. And the last fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The main library in Indiana University sinks about an inch every year. You know why? The smart engineers failed to take into account the weight of all the books.
Oh, funny.
So they loaded the thing with books and the building started sinking. So I have this sinking feeling we did something wrong. A couple of fun facts for you on a Monday.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A Diamond Lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on this Monday, the 20th day of June. I'm excited for today. I think today is going to be a good day. But for those of you out there who are living paycheck to paycheck, you're not alone. You know, there are a lot of people that are living paycheck to paycheck. As the country continues to deal with the current economic slowdown, workers are stretching their paychecks more now than ever before. Nearly half of all workers, about 47%, say they always or usually live paycheck to paycheck. That's up from 43% last year, according to the same survey. Career Builder does the survey, by the way. And it's not just blue-collar workers. It says 1 in 5 workers, even with salaries of $100,000 or more, say they live paycheck to paycheck. Now, for some good news. 64% of hiring managers expect to provide an increase in salary for full-time employees this fall. So, remember the story just like 3 stories ago where you're talking about people are looking for a new job? Maybe you should hang in there.
Yeah, and see if you get yourself a raise.
64% of the managers out there are saying, hey, we're going to be doing some little bonuses and some increased pay this fall. Maybe your boss is one of them. You know, wouldn't it stink to go get a new job and then find
the
out,
next
wow,
person
I'd
got
have
a
made
better,
more.
right.
I would have made more money just staying there.
Huh.
So be careful about jumping out of there too darn quick. So anyway, sometimes I feel like, living paycheck to paycheck isn't so bad, other than the fact that I don't always get a paycheck. So Heidi pays me. I have to say pretty please a whole lot. Pretty please. Sugar on top. Coming up, we're going to talk about the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and when is a T-Rex not a T-Rex? Yeah, it's something else. We'll tell you all about that in a bit.
Hey, this is Tim from Hope and Faith Machine Works. Are you having one of these days?
How in the world am I going to do that?
Or even,
if I could just have this, my life would be so much easier.
Well, this kind of stuff is my specialty. At Hope and Faith Machine Works, we work with anyone who needs something built, fabricated, or just done right. We've done medical, industrial, PLC, and prototype designs. You can reach us at yourhopeourfaith.com. That's yourhopeourfaith.com.
Heidi, when is a T-Rex not a T-Rex?
I don't really understand that question.
It's when it's a Maniospilatus giga, of course.
I still don't understand.
I think I said it wrong. The good old T-Rex might be losing its familiar name. Some T-Rex bones unearthed in my home state of South Dakota could be part of a fossil found in 1892. Before the T-Rex was named, of course.
Oh, that's right, and then they get naming rights.
According to the rules of paleontology, the first person to find it gets to name it. The man who found the skeleton, called Maniospondylus gigas, which means giant thin vertebrae. T-Rex, by the way, is Latin for tyrant lizard king. So if they discover for sure that these are part of a T-Rex, then it would no longer be a T-Rex, it'd be a Maniogigas. I don't know. What would we call
What is
them
up with people? I mean, why not just leave it alone?
I don't know. And to me...
And who cares? Is anybody going to care if you named this?
This dude that found it he found it in 1892. That would mean he's no longer alive.
He's no longer even with us.
Yeah, he's no longer around. He's not even going to get to see this crowning achievement. So I understand where you're saying, hey, officially that should be his. Okay, but nobody's going to quit calling it T-Rex.
Nobody cares. And and it's always going to be a T-Rex.
He's going to be the dinosaur formerly known as T-Rex. That's what he's going to be known as. He's going to have like a symbol, and, it's just going to be really confusing. And then we're going to go back to calling him T-Rex in like 2 years anyway. So.
And then all these poor kindergartners that just learned T-Rex.
Well, that's a Maniogigas. No, that's a T-Rex. Sorry, you were born at the wrong time.
No.
All right, coming up, we're going to talk about something else. Computers, treadmills, something like that. It's on the way.
John and Heidi.
One of these days, I'm going to learn to read these stories before just reading the headlines and assuming the headline is attached to the story. Here's the headline. Maybe he runs the computer's treadmill, ? Let me explain what it says here. A computer engineer has found a live mouse inside a faulty PC's hard drive.
Okay.
Gary Taylor of Coppold Landshire, somewhere in England, says a creature... I just give up on this stuff. I'm throwing in the towel. It's a Monday. Says the mouse... caused the machine to short circuit by chewing through the wires to make a nest. He thinks the rodent may have crawled into the computer through a tiny hole in the back. The engineer said he looked inside the computer and saw a little face staring back. Mr. Taylor, who runs Tailor-Made Computer Services, oh, what a clever name.
That is cute.
Cleaned the computer out and then set the mouse free. So there was a live mouse. They got this computer that wasn't working. He starts working on it, found a live mouse inside of it.
Huh.
That is kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
And it says maybe he runs on the computer's treadmill.
It must be a nerd joke.
I'm going to quit reading the headlines. That's what I'm going to say. Because they don't ever make sense. Have you noticed this? Every time they bite me in the butt, I say, coming up, we're going to talk about this. And then we're like, wait a minute, that's not even close. All right. Coming up, we're going to talk about getting a good night's sleep. Maybe. That's on the way, I think.
John and Heidi.
This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com.
John and Heidi.
I have some tips to beat insomnia and get a good night's sleep. Hey, this headline was right, Heidi.
Okay.
First thing, do something dull before going to bed.
Didn't we just...
I think we did. What the what? Make your bedroom dark. We did. Drink milk. Keep the bedroom cool. You dirty, rotten scoundrels. I tell you what, I'm going to leave that, and we're going to move on to something else. How about, have we talked about this one? Hoping to keep your mental edge as you get older? Look after your heart. A recent analysis suggests your brain will benefit too. According to NPR, a research team analyzed a subset of data from a study of risk factors for stroke. I don't think we've talked about this because I'm barely able to understand what I'm saying. They wanted to see how people in their 60s and 70s would do on repeated tests of memory and mental acuity 6 years later. And specifically, what sort of subtle differences a heart-healthy lifestyle might make to the brain. The study found that across all demographic groups, the people who had higher scores on the measures of cardiovascular health also did better on the mental tests. So saying, hey, be good to your heart, and that's also good for your brain. What do you think of that?
But don't you think a lot of that is just being active and leading a healthy lifestyle in general?
Probably.
I mean, if you're more active, you're not apt to be as
non-active,
as forgetful, and you know what I mean? Because you're moving and you're doing your thing.
Talking about forgetful, I just started reading the same story I read like a week ago, and
you're not very active.
I know I should be more active. And then, hey, something that we quit doing on this program because they're always, again, they were kind of repeating. Strange laws. I think this is a new one, though. In Long Beach, California, it is illegal to curse on a mini golf course.
That makes sense, though, because it's children usually.
Your dad could not mini golf there.
No,
in Delaware, getting married on a dare is grounds for an annulment. So if you got married because somebody dared you to get married, you can get an annulment.
First of all, if you got married because somebody dared you to get married, you're a moron, and you deserve to be divorced.
Wait, that's why we got married.
We did not.
Your dad dared me to. Double dog dare you. Fine. I'll do it. Just watch. I'll do it. That's not really why we got married. We got married because I love you. That's why. Coming up in a moment, we have some good news. That is on the way on this Monday edition of the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I think this is kind of a cool story. Nebraska billionaire Warren Buffett has revealed the secret to his success. Heidi, you ready for this?
Yeah.
The secret is, if you can, in life, work at what you love with people you love, it comes back at you. Love is something you can't get rid of. If you give it to people, you get it back. If you try to hold on to it, it disappears. That is a direct quote from Warren Buffett. Oh, it's Warren Buffett? I know who it is. I'm being silly. That is a good quote. That's a very good quote. The secret is, if you can in life, work at what you love with people you love. It comes back at you. Love is something you can't get rid of. If you give it to other people, you get it back.
Like herpes.
No. Would you stop it? If you try to
something you can't get rid of.
If you try to hold on to it, it disappears. Heidi, I am so ashamed of you. You were just doing so good, too. Much of the company's record achievement can be attributed to Warren Buffett's belief that everyone at all levels is expected to pitch in, no matter the size of the project. Now, I've never met Warren Buffett, but I did meet a waiter who met Warren Buffett. We were in Omaha. What was the place called? Omaha Prime.
Omaha Prime.
Yeah, I don't remember the guy's name, but he was a super nice guy.
He was awesome.
Very nice. And he folded we didn't even really have leftovers, but the table next to us did. And he folded this awesome swan
and
out
so
of
I
aluminum
wanted a
foil.
swan, and he made me a swan.
Yeah, we had taken a little road trip to Omaha for whatever reason, and when we were there, he was telling us about a time that Warren Buffett and Bill Gates were in at the table that we were at. He's like, Warren Buffett and Bill Gates were in here not too long ago. And he said it was so funny because Warren Buffett is a regular customer here. And I said, hey, Buffett, where's that $20 you owe me? And Warren Buffett apparently doesn't have a sense of humor. He said, do I owe you money? And Bill Gates laughed his butt off at that. So he thought it was hilarious. So anyway, Nebraska billionaire Warren Buffett has some advice for you, and I have a link for you if you'd like to read all about it at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening on a Monday.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the bonus break, brought to you by our friends at radiosavings.com. You can save a ton of dough and get something really cool. A lifetime membership to Front Sight Firearms Training Institute, a $15,000 value for just $3,000. All the details can be found, and you can purchase this at radiosavings.com. Heidi, did you know you could freeze non-citrus fruits for up to a year? Other foods
did not
can
like
also last for months longer than you might think.
You can freeze them like whole, or you
Yeah.
have to cut them first.
Says
like apples?
You can freeze vegetables and juice and steak and margarine and spices and lobster and even whole chickens. Probably not live chickens. Also freeze turkeys and muffins and pork roasts.
Cryogenics for chickens.
What's going on in your freezer? I don't know. Let's try to freeze
That's fantastic.
Heard John and Heidi say I could freeze a whole chicken. It's not working with a hoot. Keeps kicking the door open. You can also freeze pork roast and beef roast, all for about 12 months. All of these items are listed in the freezer guide that I have at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. What else do I want to talk about here? How about, I have got such a mess. I've been saving all this stuff forever. Brian Mulligan was arrested on a drunken driving charge. He spent 20 hours in a police cell.
Who's that?
Let me finish telling you. Spent 20 hours in a police cell before being driven 150 miles for a court appearance. He had the same name as a man with an arrest warrant. His date of birth didn't match, but it was close enough for police. They said, oh, this has got to be him. Anyway, they finally discovered that it's not him, and he had to thumb a ride 150 miles home. They didn't take him back. How crazy is that? Brian Mulligan was arrested and then not taken back to where they brought him from. Well, that's crazy. Rescue crews arrived at McHale's home in Akron, Ohio after a series of confusing phone calls. They didn't know what the heck was going on. They got 13 healthy puppies on the way.
What? You must have skipped something.
They didn't find a medical emergency. They found a batch of newborn puppies. They delivered
it's like
13.
The female dog calling?
Well, in the process, authorities say they abused the 911 emergency system because they couldn't go on other calls because they were coming to save puppies' lives. So that
It's a good thing this is the bonus break.
I know. Sorry, guys.
Aren't you glad you stuck around for this one,
This
folks?
was so worth it, wasn't it? Sorry, radiosavings.com. It says we're trained to save human lives, not animal lives. Woman in labor, yes. Dog in labor, no. So they called 911 because of a puppy in labor, not a person in labor. That was the problem.
Yeah, okay.
An Alexandria, Louisiana woman tried to outrun officers, thinking the police could not arrest her once she made it home. This whole home free thing.
Oh, wow.
Ollie,
I'm
Ollie,
home.
oxen free. I made it
I'm
home.
safe.
Renata Fells, not the brightest bulb on the old Christmas tree, told officers she saw that happen on a TV show. Fells also did not stop because she did not want her car impounded. Once she pulled into her driveway, officers from 4 agencies surrounded her. She had got charges of speeding, an aggravated flight from an officer, reckless operation of a vehicle, and failure to yield to an emergency vehicle. She pulled into her driveway and got out as if nothing happened. They said, hey, you're under arrest. She's like, oh, you can't arrest me.
I'm home.
I'm home now. Well, sorry. We'll just go back to the office.
Yeah.
What
Guess
the
what? You're wrong.
Mama's wrong again. All right. He used to put criminals away. Now he'll be joining them. Former Highland Falls police officer Matthew Lawrence was sentenced to 60 days in Orange County Jail. He got in trouble for official misconduct. He admitted to stealing a $600 leaf blower from a locked utility garage. Why would you steal that? He was in full uniform driving a police car when he committed the theft.
Oh, my gosh.
What are you doing, man? Come on, you're one of the good guys. Don't do that. If you're a police officer, hats off to you. I'm serious. The John and Heidi Show, we love you. We absolutely love you. Heidi's got 2 brothers that are police officers. I've got another brother-in-law that's a police officer. My father was a police officer. We're big fans. But don't do knucklehead stuff like this. You make all of the officers look bad.
Well, he blew it.
Yeah, with a leaf blower. I mean, just doesn't even make sense. Hey, I had a couple of fun facts. I'm going to read these so I can delete them, all right? It would take, I don't know who thinks this stuff up, $517,578 bills to cover a football field.
Huh.
$517,578. Who in the world was sitting at a football field and said, I wonder how many dollar bills it would take to cover that?
Somebody who wasn't there to watch the game.
Somebody
That got drugged there by a sports fan.
I'm gonna do
that
the
is
math
not a
on
sports
this.
fan. They're more of a computer nerd, and
Whoa.
they're sitting there thinking to themselves,
Well, you guys enjoy this scrimmage. I'm going to do a little calculation.
did you know?
Who won the game? I don't really care, but it takes $517,578 bills to cover that field. Coincidentally, that's how much that guy playing got paid for that game, just so you know. And another fun fact that I didn't get around to, Pablo Picasso often paid for things by check. You know why?
Why?
People would keep the check because of the value of his signature, so they never cashed
Instead
it.
of cashing it.
And he got
So he
all
was
of his
getting his
stuff
stuff
for
for
free. I'm going to start paying for things by check.
You think people won't cash
I'm
your
going to say,
check?
hey, just so you know.
Just so you know, this is my signature.
This is probably worth something. About $7.18. That's what I filled in up here. That's really what it's worth. But if you want to keep it, someday, baby, this is going to be worth some dough.
And you'll be kicking yourself if you cashed it.
Yeah, how foolish will you feel when you cash it for a mere $7.18? Someday, compound interest and whatnot. You could have been rolling in dough. All right, that's a better bonus break. I am sorry for starting off rocking. Bonus break brought to you by, who is it brought to you by again? RadioSavings.com. That's who it was this time. See, I've been trying to mix it up a bit. But the problem is then I get mixed up. RadioSavings.com. If you go there, you can save a bunch of dough. You can save $12,000 right now. That's a pretty good savings.
That is a very good savings.
$15,000 lifetime membership to Front Sight Firearms Training Institute for just $3,000. That's a $12,000 savings. Check it out at RadioSavings.com.